Then there's this. Vice President J.D. Vance's anti-fraud task force already getting to work, suspending a total of 221 California hospice providers suspected of fraud. And that's just in Los Angeles alone. FBI and SWAT teams reportedly arrested a large number of these individuals yesterday morning, including 2 accused of taking upwards of $7 million illegally. Now, here's what Vance posted on X. Our task force isn't wasting any time cracking down on fraud. Federal law enforcement is taking down fraudsters who stole $50 million plus from Americans by defrauding our healthcare and hospice systems. The task force only expected the arrest number to grow in the coming weeks, they say. Maria's going to be speaking with Los Angeles mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt on Tuesday to talk about his plan to reshape and fix the city of Los Angeles. And you know what, Erica? I am so thrilled about this task force from the vice president. This might be one of the most important things this administration, Erica, has done thus far, because there's so much anger out there from American taxpayers, large and small, who say, I work hard to pay my taxes only to see billions of it stolen and either sent overseas in bags of cash on airplanes, or in the case of Los Angeles, by these hospice providers who are just pocketing the money.
Absolutely. And this follows, they'll have their work cut out for them, because you're following these citizen journalists, most recently Chris Rufo, City Journal, who put out a report that $150 billion, 25% of Medi-Cal, is also lost to fraud. That's in addition to what has already been announced by Vice President Vance. So this follows Minnesota, Nick Shirley, and what he uncovered. I think the American people, as you said, they're very upset about this, because we do work hard to pay these taxes, and to see it be wasted away in fraud is infuriating. There's a lot of that to crack down on. So glad to see Vice President Vance getting to work.
Absolutely, and using the power of government, the subpoena power, and also looking at whether it is tax returns, John, et cetera, business filings, et cetera. You can find that fraud, and it's almost shocking that we haven't done it before. But, we've heard now that it's not just California, it's not just Minnesota, also New York, John. We've heard a lot of reports and a lot of conversations now around I call it the homeless industrial complex that it takes place here in New York City, and the fraud and the stealing that might be happening at that level as well.
Yeah, with fraud, you have a situation where the fraudsters are stealing money from people who really need help from the government. And moreover, all of this fraud drives home the point that maybe there is room to cut taxes. We don't need tax hikes if tax hikes in part are just going to fund more in terms of fraud. The bigger the government gets, the greater is the risk of fraud.
Erica, I wanted to get your kind of take on this whole of government approach we're seeing in so many levels with this administration, whether it is going after fraud, whether it is dealing with prescription drug prices. We're now just a year over the president's first term. What has really stood out to you as far as the work that they're doing?
Oh, absolutely. The pace that they're working at, I think you're right about that. Tackling all of these major issues with such expediency. Even when we talk about Pam Bondi leaving, if you think about over the past year, what she's accomplished, what's been accomplished in the education department, even so much as them moving out of their building because they have cut so much of it, that ultimately trickles down to savings for taxpayers, lower taxes, lowering the deficit long term.
Yeah. Well, certainly, again, this task force that the vice president is leading, I think the work is going to continue, and I can't wait to see what else they uncover